In the heart of the Quran, Surah Saba, also known as Chapter 34, brings us a story that feels timeless. It speaks about power, wealth, blessings, and the choices people make when surrounded by prosperity. At its core, the surah teaches us a sobering lesson. Wealth and material success cannot guarantee survival, dignity, or even happiness, especially when gratitude is missing. The surah is named after the people of Sheba, an ancient civilization in southern Arabia. History remembers them as a people of abundance. They lived in fertile lands, with flowing rivers and lush gardens, and they enjoyed prosperity that many nations envied. Their kingdom was so wealthy that their capital, Marib, became a center of trade and culture. They were blessed in ways that most human beings could only dream of. But blessings can be a double-edged sword. The Quran reminds us that blessings are not only gifts, they are also tests. The people of Sheba were given abundance, yet they forgot the source of that abundance. Instead of living in gratitude and humility, they slipped into arrogance and negligence. They treated their prosperity as something permanent, something they had earned solely by their own efforts. In doing so, they disconnected themselves from the one who sustains all life. Surah Saba recounts how this arrogance led to their downfall. The Quran describes a great dam that held the waters of their fertile valley. This dam was both a symbol and a source of their prosperity. But when they turned away from God, when they failed to acknowledge Him in their blessings, that very dam collapsed. The waters that once gave life turned into a destructive flood. Their lush gardens were replaced by barren land. Their civilization, which seemed unshakable, crumbled into ruins. This collapse is not just a story of ancient history, it is a lesson for all generations. Wealth, technology, political power, or cultural dominance cannot protect a society if its moral and spiritual foundation is weak. A nation can rise on wealth, but it will fall if arrogance replaces gratitude, and if corruption replaces humility. What makes Surah Saba even more profound is that it doesn't only mention Sheba. It places their story alongside the examples of prophets like Dawood and Sulaiman, David and Solomon, who were also given great power and wealth. Yet their response was the opposite of Sheba's. Instead of arrogance, they turned to gratitude. Prophet Dawood was given a voice that could soften hearts, iron that could be shaped in his hands, and authority among his people. He used these blessings in service of God. Prophet Sulaiman commanded not only armies but also the winds and even the jinn. And yet he famously said, "This is by the grace of my Lord, to test me, whether I will be grateful or ungrateful." In these contrasts, Surah Saba gives us a map of two possible paths: the path of gratitude, which leads to strength, stability, and spiritual success, and the path of arrogance, which leads to collapse, no matter how powerful or wealthy one might seem. When we look at today's world, the lesson feels as urgent as ever. Entire economies are built on wealth, consumption, and technological prowess. Yet we see how quickly fortunes can change. Natural disasters, financial crises, and social unrest can undo decades of progress. The message of Surah Saba echoes across time. Without gratitude, without humility, without remembering the source of all blessings, wealth is fragile. But gratitude in the Quran is not just about saying thank you. It is about how we live. It is about using wealth responsibly, sharing with others, protecting the vulnerable, and recognizing that prosperity is a trust, not a guarantee. When gratitude shapes a community, wealth becomes a tool for good. When arrogance takes over, wealth becomes an illusion of safety. Surah Saba also emphasizes the reality of the hereafter. The people of Sheba thought their kingdom would last forever, but their downfall was a reminder that nothing material is permanent. The Quran calls us to lift our gaze beyond the material, to see life as a journey toward accountability. Every blessing we enjoy, every resource we hold, is part of a test. So, what does this mean for us today? It means that prosperity is not the problem. forgetfulness is. Wealth in itself is not condemned. In fact, it can be a blessing. But the danger lies in thinking that wealth makes us independent of God, or immune from decline. The story of Sheba reminds us that true strength lies not in the walls we build or the fortunes we accumulate, but in the gratitude and humility that anchor us when times change. Surah Saba closes with a powerful reminder: the day of judgment is real, and on that day, wealth will be useless. What will matter is sincerity, gratitude, and the actions that reflected our awareness of God. Just as Sheba's wealth could not save them, our wealth, our status, or our achievements cannot shield us from accountability. The lesson is timeless. Gratitude is the foundation of stability. Arrogance is the seed of destruction. Nations, like individuals, stand or fall based on how they treat their blessings. Surah Saba tells us that wealth cannot save a nation, but gratitude and humility can sustain one.